All right, what's up, everyone? Jammer here from Jammer's Wrestling Magazine Collection. You already know the deal. You follow this channel, probably, I would think. So you know exactly what this channel is about. It's about wrestling magazines and other stuff. Now, today, a big day, number 100, right? Number 100. Now, I said this was going to be a huge day, and I was right. I'm totally right. This is a huge day. First of all, I just got to say something. I celebrated a birthday a few days ago. I turned the big 4-3 that's an inside joke with me and a friend because 43 really isn't anything. But thanks to Zeke Zanzibar, he helped me add to the collection here. I do now have the NWO of Scott Hall and Kevin Nash and Six and Hollywood Hogan, as well as over here, ignore the horrible Toronto Maple Leaf blanket. I got this from Zeke as well. How fitting. A Pro Wrestling Illustrated t-shirt. I finally own one. It's kind of huge. I should have one. I should have had one for many, many years. But now I got one. I can wear it proudly, and people can around my town can say, what the hell is Pro Wrestling Illustrated? And I can explain it to them, and they won't give a shit. But hey, I got it. All right. Now, back to here. There's a reason why I'm having the camera down and kind of not showing a certain area. As you can see, I changed this around. This shelf wasn't here before. I used to have the smaller shelf, like right here, right? This is the shelf I used to have right there. And I kind of moved the shelf over because those magazines here would be over here. If you watch the old videos in the library, you know exactly how it looked. But this is the exciting thing. I just have to move this a bit so I can get a good view here. All right. I finally now own, there it is, a magazine stand. Well, kind of, right? I mean, this is what I wanted. This is what I wanted for a while. I wanted a shelf to put the magazines up, to show them off, to display them. It's not huge, as you can see. I have to overlap the mags, but it's kind of exciting. I was stoked when I got it. I got it off Amazon. I mean, maybe down the road I'll get a second one and put them beside each other, but still, I don't. Right now, for room-wise, this is all I got to work with. And for right now, I just put the 1987 mags up on the on this magazine stand kind of thing. I kind of, what I want to do now is put like the months on there, right? So like now we're in November. I'd like to go and throw the November magazines on there, so it would look like what it did in the month of November when you went into a variety store, right? Or some sort of newsstand, or even a grocery store, or a Shoppers Drug Mart kind of store, right? Now, the problem is, do I do it like just by 1 year? Like, for example, this is 1987, so do I just throw up the November 87 magazines? Or do I do all the Novembers? Because if I did, that's a lot, right? And I think that might take away the concept of what I'm doing with this, because you're not going to be able to see all the magazines then if I did that. So over here now, I put, as you can see, I got the Sports Review magazines up here. Those are the older style ones from 81 on through until I think 89. Because over here it starts, there's the 90s on down to 92. And I believe do I have Wrestle America, I think, underneath that too, maybe. And over here we got the Wrestler and such, and Inside Wrestling, and you work your way down to that. Over here, of course, I went with the PWIs up top there, and all the way down, there's the WCW magazines, and Wrestling 83 through 93 and such, and the WWF magazines. And over here, of course, are the other WWF/WWE magazines that I have. So down here, we got the smaller comic book style mags, of course, as usual. And then down here, a mixture of both because I was running out of room. And the VHS tapes that I had up here, they're now down here because I don't watch them anyhow. They're just down there, right? Same with the the boxed hockey cards I still have from the junk wax era. And of course, the DVDs I don't watch because I have the WWE Network. Now, over here where I used to have the PWIs, I put the new PWI ones. So there's, let's see, there's, so yeah, 1, 2, and then of course the doubles and my childhood magazines, of course, down here I kept. So that is everything over here for the magazines, the newer style. So this is kind of like the retro section now, as you can see. So I changed up, like I got Mr. T here, and then I kept those the same. But like I said, over here, then I'd made another line of Valentine, Jimmy, and Macho and Warrior when I moved the shelving unit over, and of course, the new one's added, the NWO. So that is very cool. But yes, this is a big day, a big showing of what I finally added here. Let's see if I can turn this sideways to get a better look at that. So that's going to be, here now, and I'll have all the magazines. Like I said, I'll probably do the November ones either today or tomorrow and go through and put them out, and then it'll look cool on display. Like I said, I only put the 87 ones up here for now as a test to see what it looks like. I'm not disappointed in it. I mean, I knew I was going to be dealing with, like restraints when it comes to how much room I'm going to have on this little magazine stand. Like, look down, I could do 2 each, because as you can see, Bammer and Macho down there. So you can do 2 magazines, but the fact that there's like that weird gap there and you can see the back, because there's no backing on this, right? It's just, I don't know. I thought that having 3 like that across wouldn't be too bad. And I do remember back in the day at magazine stores, that's what they would do. They would kind of like stock their magazines like that so they could fit more on the stand. So it's not a real big issue to me. And if you want to see the cover, you can just go up and, pull it out and look at it like that, right? So it's not that big of a deal overall. Now, with that being said, let me just sit back here and get a good look at this. This is quite the spectacle of magazines here. I have definitely, come to the fact that I am 43 now. I am going to die before I ever read all of these. Honestly, I will. And it sucks when you think about it, because, like, first of all, death sucks in general, let's be honest. But when I was a teenager, like, let's say if like 15-year-old Jammer walked in here right now, man, he would be loving this. He would have the world at his fingertips, so much wrestling magazines to look at. Because then the internet wasn't overly huge, and whatever was on the internet then wasn't like, let's just be honest, wrestling on the internet in 95, 96 wasn't that a big thing going on. I think Scoops Wrestling, if anyone remembers that, Scoops Wrestling, it was a pretty reliable wrestling website ran by Al Isaacs. And if you don't know that name, he was the guy in 1999 who had at the ECW arena in May, he kind of had a joint wrestling promotion from like all the wrestling indie feds that were out there at the time, like including the NWA. And there was like, I remember like there was a lot of matches on there, like of just big name stars. I remember Stevie Richards was on the show. The Headbangers were. And I know there was more because I forget the matches now. But I do know that was the show where Shane Douglas appeared and pretty much told Paul Heyman to, fuck himself, and that he was quitting ECW because he wasn't getting paid and he wouldn't be at the pay-per-view Sunday night. And that pay-per-view, of course, was Hardcore Heaven, where Shane was scheduled to wrestle Just Incredible. That didn't happen, so Sid Vicious wrestled Just Incredible. And that was Sid's last match in ECW too. Then he went to WCW. So, but yeah, that was, I wish I could remember what the name of that show was, but look it up on the internet if you want to see it. I'm pretty sure there's video footage and such of it out there, but I know Al Isaacs was one of the big promoters behind it, and he ran Scoops Wrestling. And that's, of course, going back to what my original topic was, that is where the internet for me started for wrestling information. But before that, it was all through these magazines. I couldn't wait each month to buy the new one if I could get around to doing so. And even then, you only had so much money to work with. Which ones do you buy, right? But now that I have like a giant amount of these, I don't have everything I want yet. It's somewhat still impossible because of A, pricing of magazines now, and B, just they're not online either. You can't find them. So it's just a combination of the two. But that's okay. That's what makes this hobby fun. It's going around collecting, trying to find it, and just always adding something new. So with that being said, I am pretty content with how this area looks. There's lots of open room here still. I can sit on the floor like right there, and I could go through magazines and read them for hours if I want. I won't, but I can do that. I'm having a hard enough time anymore catching up on YouTube videos of online friends who do magazines. The last week's been pretty busy for me. The girlfriend had her time off from work again. So when her time off from work happens, I tried to pick up more hours to go to work. And I know that sounds mean, but I just figured she would like to have her, vacation time too by herself. It doesn't need me lingering around. So I didn't have time to check out any videos. So I don't know if Andrea A has done any new videos. I know Bill did for Pro Wrestling Mags, and I'm just getting into that today. So I'm hoping to check those out and see how those videos went for him. But yeah, so again, this is number 100, the 100th video. Can't believe I made it to 100. It's kind of neat. Now I got this though, the stand. I'm loving it. I'm just liking how everything has turned out here. I got the Garfields up there. They're digging it. They're okay with everything. Apparently, they're watching over the magazine. So no ghosts, ghouls, or goblins can come in and steal them with a couple of orange fat cats hanging around up top. All right, so that is it for today. I want to thank everyone who has followed me on this wild ride for these 100 videos. I plan on doing another 100 too. Don't get me wrong. It's going to be fun. I'm loving this. I just need more material to work with, but that is what eBay is all about, and buying magazines. So with that being said, I'm going to have to eventually, I don't know if I'll do it today. I don't think I'm going outside today. It's dark and rainy out and kind of cold, and I don't have to be out today, so I'm not going out. But maybe tomorrow, if the weather is good, I will, doll myself up the best I can by putting on a Pro Wrestling Illustrated t-shirt, thanks to Zeke Zanzibar, my good buddy there. And, he overdid himself for me again. He's been a friend, a best friend and like a brother to me for years. And he's always been there to support me. He's supporting me on this crazy ride I'm doing with the magazines. He watches them and always gives it a like just to support me, and I appreciate that, and he's a good dude. And everyone else out there who is supporting me and watching these and liking and commenting, you're also very good dudes and dudettes as well, and I appreciate everything that you're doing as well, and for this channel and helping it grow, and it's given me something fun to do as well. So once again, there it is, the magazine stand that you would see when you walk into a variety store, a much smaller style one, but there it is nonetheless. I love it. I think it's great. And I can't wait now to go through and find out what November mags I'm going to be throwing up there. And maybe in the next video, I'll show you that one and see what I finally decided on. All right, so until I do my next one, I will talk to you guys later.